obviously a lot of learnings to come out of last night. I think, for a quarter and a half we were up with the reigning premiers from last year, and I think that was really positive, and we can take positives out of that. And obviously it was really disappointing to fall away in the second half, and we've got a young group, and I think that we'll learn a lot from that performance and hopefully move forward. But definitely there's a reason why they won the premiership last year, but that shows us where we're at, and we've got a lot of work to do now to get into round one and against Gold Coast, and that's what we're preparing for now.
What specific areas, Ben, do you think you'll be looking to improve ahead of round one?
We're always looking to improve in all facets of our game. I think, defensively at times last night we saw periods of the game where we had Richmond players running through and not a lot of pressure on them. But I think in another sense, in the first quarter and a half, we pressured them really well and we're up there with them. So I think it's more about trying to sustain that effort for 4 quarters. I think we're really capable of doing that, and we've shown that over the last few years that we're capable of matching it with the best. And that's the way the competition's shaping up now, that any team can match it with anyone. So I think we'll take that into round one, and we've got a real tough test against Gold Coast come round one, but we're really looking forward to it as well.
It looked as if you were trying to play somewhat of an aggressive style going through the corridor. Is that something we can expect to see during the season proper, or was it more just to test it out during pre-season?
I think we like playing an aggressive style of game. It's good to watch, and we think we can also score from that. But we don't like to be a team that settles on one specific game plan and goes with that. So yeah, I think maybe we focused a little bit on that up on that yesterday, but it's not necessarily going to be what we're going to bring out week in, week out. So I think the way we prepare now, it's a different opposition that you come up against every week, and we put in a lot of hard work towards that. So it'll really depend on what the opposition throws at us.
With a side that's still learning as well, and a little bit of experience, is it a little bit risky to play that brand more often than not as well, I suppose?
Again, it'll depend on the opposition we come up against as to what game plan we bring in, and the looking into the corridor, I think that's exciting footy for us to play, and we think that playing an aggressive style of footy, that's the way footy's going these days. And getting pressure around the ball, that's our next thing, and really sustaining that pressure for 4 quarters, because it doesn't matter too much what you do with the footy if you can't get your hands on it and you can't get it back off the opposition. So I think that's step one for us.
The JLT competition over, Ben, no wins, but are you confident that you've got what you needed out of it ahead of round one?
Yeah, definitely. I think we came up against 2 really solid teams in JLT, and that's a really good test for us, and we would have liked to have played better, there's no doubt about that, but I think there's positives to be taken from it. It is only the pre-season, and now we get into round one. I think we've had a long pre-season, and we're really keen to actually get into the real stuff. And there have been a few things that we've been working on over the pre-season that we haven't quite got right. But that means we can look at the vision now during the week and figure out where we are going wrong and just fine-tune our game plan and our strategy a little bit. So yeah, it wasn't ideal the way that we've prepared ourselves for round one, but that doesn't necessarily mean doom and gloom. I think we're all still feeling pretty positive about the season to come.
Any youngsters who particularly excited you? Any guys you think have really taken a leap forward over the pre-season?
Oh, well, obviously Luke Davies-Uniacke's been really exciting for us, and I think we're really conscious of not hyping him too much, because he is a young kid and he's just finding his way, and I think that's really important for fans to keep in mind. But yeah, I think everyone can see the kind of player that he's going to be and going to become. I think Tom Murphy came in last night and he only played about a quarter and a half of footy, I think, but you could see that he's got that composure, and I think that's one thing amongst the kids that we've brought in, is that we've got a lot of composure and a bit of class too, a bit of outside run, which is probably what we've been lacking in the past. So really exciting to see guys like that getting an opportunity.
Avoiding hyping up Luke, is he ready for round one if he's called upon, do you think?
I think definitely, yeah. I think he's ready for round one, and that really comes down to selection. But I think he's got the class that we want. He can go through the midfield. Not many kids who come in as an 18-year-old can go straight into a midfield that's been pretty settled for a fair while and really shake that. But I think he has. So yeah, I'll be really excited to see him come round one. But again, I think the expectations on him from our perspective aren't too high. We're really conscious of that, and we just want to make sure that Luke's enjoying his footy. He's an 18-year-old who's come in, he's a couple months in, and just like anyone, come his first game, whenever that is, he's going to have nerves. So we're going to make sure that he's feeling really comfortable for that.
Getting a first look at the 2018 version of the Tigers, are they a scarier proposition than last year?
Oh, I think they're definitely scary, and in terms of their capabilities. I think everyone knows after last year that they're a force to be reckoned with. But I think it was really positive for us that we were able to match it with them for that quarter and a half. And obviously that's not enough to win a game of football. And you look back and you go, well, that's a 70-point defeat, which it was. And in the second half, we were pretty poor in a lot of areas. But I think it's the positive that we can take out of that is that we did match it with them for a period of the game. It's just for us about finding that consistency with a young group now. But yeah, I think Richmond will be a strong team again this year. And they'll be tough to beat.
And Ben, can you tell us a little bit about today's launch? Obviously, an exciting initiative for the club.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited about North's gender equity strategy. I think myself and my wife have been working with the strategy group for a while now, and I think it's just so exciting that North Melbourne's taking the lead and trying to be a community leader in areas such as this. I'm really proud to be a North Melbourne person, not just because of what we put in on the field. I think it's really important that we're community minded as well, and we've shown that over the last few years, and this is hopefully the start of something pretty special for us.
Obviously comes in a year ahead of the club having its own AFLW team. I imagine that'll be exciting as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think having the AFLW team come in is really exciting. I've been keeping up with the AFLW. I've been a pretty keen fan of that, so I'm really excited to meet the girls when they come in, and I think the rest of the playing group is too. I think we're all really keen to buy into that and become one club, which is really exciting for us. I think the next 6 months, in 6 months, we're going to have an AFLW and a VFLW team come in. We've got to have our VFL men's team playing this year. It'll be a big club, lots of people around the club, but I think that's really good for us.